Fox 13 News, the most watched news in the Mid-South.
Breaking news now, the U.S. Justice Department just dismissed all of its Biden-era police investigations, including into the Memphis Police Department.
It was a scathing Justice Department report when it came down. Fox 13 investigative reporter Kayla Solomon, you covered it, got a lot of reaction from it, and now it looks like it's going away.
Yeah, exactly. We know the findings just came out this past December, and we knew a change of administration would be coming in just the following month. So we had a lot of questions as to whether this would even stick once the findings came out. But of course, we found that Memphis Police, they used excessive force. They made illegal traffic stops and unlawful arrests. And they also discriminated against people with disabilities as well as people who had mental disabilities. So we know that these findings are now going to be stopped. And we know verbatim from the Department of Justice that the Civil Rights Division will be closing its investigations into and retracting the Biden administration's findings of constitutional violations on the part of the Memphis Police Department. Today, we're ending the Biden Civil Rights Division's failed experiment of handcuffing local leaders and police departments, and the Department of Justice will continue to offer its full support to police departments across the country. Now, when these findings first came out, we did ask Mayor Young if the reason why the city didn't sign the consent decree had anything to do with the change in administration, and he said no.
Yeah, and that was a big deal then, because the city and the police chief were like, yeah, you do what you want, but we're not signing this.
Yeah, and one of the reasons they cited was the fact that these normally cost hundreds of millions of dollars for cities, and it also could take up to a decade for any of these changes to be put into place.
So
I remember that day when the assistant U.S. attorney was saying if Memphis didn't follow, there could be legal action from the Justice Department. I guess that's off the table as well right now.
Yeah, it sounds like that's also going to be part of the thing that's, thrown out at this point.
Interesting. So I know you'll be working this story today. We had the mayor earlier at a demolition, so hopefully we can talk to him. But do you think it's a coincidence that the mayor and the police chief had already planned and announced this morning that they're having an announcement about fighting crime with their law enforcement partners? That's coming tonight.
I mean, at this point, it seems like it could be a great coincidence for us because we'll get to ask questions, but also it could just be one of those things that they knew about and wanted to get ahead of.
Right. They probably got the heads up before we did.
Exactly.
Right?
And Kayla, I asked Mulroy about this, Steve Mulroy, the DA, with this posture from the Justice Department now, the Tyree Nichols case. I asked him if it was on the table, if it was a world where all of the convictions in the federal case against those officers could be kicked out. Is that what we're talking about now?
Of course, at this point, it's too early to say whether that is going to happen in this case, but I can tell you that that's a concern. It really is a concern, especially with the acquittal in the state case.
Okay. So big decision just coming down. The Department of Justice basically saying all of these investigations, null and void, don't worry about it.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
All right, Kayla.
So we know you're following up. Thank you, Kayla. So Kayla will have